Hello kids, in today's class we are going to start with the new concept 3.10 an unsolved mystery, the Collatz conjecture. So let us start the class with this. Look at the sequences given below. The same rule is applied in all the sequences. So here kids we are given 4 sequences and there is one rule which is applied to all the sequences. Okay, so the rule is one starts with any number, that the sequence can start with any number. So see here we have 4 sequences and we can see all the sequences are starting with a different number. So the rule says one starts with any number if the number is even. So if we are starting the sequence with the even number, then take half of it. That means the next number will be the half of the previous number. But if the number starts with odd number, then multiply it by 3 and add 1 to it. And we have to keep on repeating this. So let's observe this rule in all these sequences. Let's start with the first sequence. So we have taken 12. So the rule says if we are taking even number, then the next we will have to take half of it. So half of 12 is 6. Again 6 is even, half of 6 is 3. Now this 3 is odd. So the rule says that if the number is odd, we have to multiply it by 3 and add 1 to it. So we will multiply 3 with 3, that is 9, and we will add 1 to it. So it is 9 plus 1, 10. Okay. So here we are getting 10. Now again 10 is an even number. So what we will do? We will take half of this and we will get 5. 5 is a odd number. So we will multiply 5 with 3 and add 1 to it. We will get 16. Okay. And it will go on and we will notice that all the 4 sequences above eventually reach the number 1. So it means if we'll keep on repeating this, the end number we will get is 1 in all the sequences. So, in 1937, the German mathematician Lothar Collatz conjectured that the sequence will always reach 1 regardless of the number you start with. Even today, despite many mathematicians working on it, it remains as unsolved problem as to whether this is true or not. Collatz conjecture is one of the most famous unsolved problem in mathematics. So the reason is that why this is happening, nobody knows, but yes, the rule is true. It's holding true for any number. Okay, so let us take the another sequence. In here, it starts with 17, which is a odd number. So what we are doing? We are doing 17 multiplied by 3, which is 51, and then adding 2 to it, which is giving us the next number 52. Now half of 52, we will take half of 52, which is equal to 26. So we have written 26 here. Even, again half of it is 13. Now 13 is odd. So what we will do? Again 13 multiplied by 3, which is 39, and then we will add 1 to it. Okay, we will then add 1 to it, it will be 40. So the next number is 40, which is even, half is 20, even, half is 10, even, half is 5. Now it is reaching 5, which is an odd number. So what we will do? 5 multiplied by 3 plus 1, which is 16. 16 is again a 16 is an even number. We will take half, 8. 8 is even, half is 4. 4 is even, half is 2, and again 1. So finally we are reaching to 1 here. And same we are doing in the next 2 sequences. In C also it is starting with 21, which is an odd number. So what we will do here? We will multiply 21 with 3. So we will get 63. So and we will add 1 to it, which will make it 64. So the next number is 64, which is even. Half of 64 is 32 even. Half of this is 16 even. Then 8, 4, 2, and eventually we will reach to 1. And same we are doing here. So kids, this is called as the Collatz conjecture, where we have to use this rule that if a number is even, the next number will be half of it. If the number is odd, then we have to multiply that number with 3 and add 1 to it, and we will keep we will have to repeat it till we reach 1, and we will finally get 1 in all the sequences. So now the question here is, make some more Collatz sequences like above, starting with your favorite whole numbers. Do you reach 1? So here, this is question 1, and I am writing the answer here. Okay, let's try take number 10. Let's take a number 10. So kids, 10 is even number. So the next number will be half of this, which is 5. Okay, so 5 is an odd number. What we will do, we will multiply 5 with 3, add 1 to it, which is 15 plus 1, 16. So we got 16 here. 16 is a even number. We will take half of it. 8 is even, half of it. 4 is even, half of it. 2 is even, half of it. And finally, we reached 1. So we were asked to do the same thing in this question. Now, next, we have the concept of simple estimation. So kids, first of all, we should understand that what is estimation. Estimation means that on the basis of some particular data, we take the approximate number. We make an assumption using the data, which is called as the estimation. Okay, so let us start with this topic. At times, we may not know or need an exact count of things, and an estimate is sufficient for the purpose at hand. Example, your school headmaster might know the exact number of students in the school, but you may only know the estimated count, right? See, so what it is being said here is that example which is given here is that the school principal might know the exact number of which are there in the school, but we just take an approximation that okay, this might be the total number of students in our school, about 150, 400, or in thousands also. Like in many school it reaches to 1000, but if the school is small it may be in hundreds also. Okay, now example is Paromita's class section has 32 children. So there is a girl named Paromita, and in her class section there are 32 children, and of her grade there are 2 more sections which are having 29 and 35 children. So what she has done, she estimated the number of children in her class, that is the overall grade, to be about 100. So what is being said here is that there is a girl Paromita, in her particular section there is 32 children, and of her grade there are 2 more sections which are having 29 and 35 children. So what she's thinking that okay, in her class there are 32 kids, in the other 2 sections there are 29 and 35 kids. So the total number of students in her grade 6 might be around 100. Okay, so this 100 is the estimated number she is taking. This is not the exact number. Exact number will be 39 plus 29, 32 plus 29 plus 35. If we add these numbers, we will get the exact count. But she is taking the estimated number. She is estimating this number. Along with her, with class 6, her school also has classes 7 to 10, and each class has 3 sections each. So now, along with grade 6, there are other grades also. Classes 7 to 10 are also there. So 7, 8th, 9th and 10th are also there. Now what she is doing, she is assuming similar number of children in each class and estimated the number of students in her school to be around 500. So what she's thinking that there are 100 kids in her, 100 students in her grade, and there might be 100 in each of these also. So in all, there will be this 400 plus this 100, so total 500. She's estimating this count to be 500 here. This is not the exact number. This is the estimations she is making. So what we have to do here is, on the basis of certain data given to us, we have to estimate the things. We have to estimate the nearest number. Okay, I hope that we are clear with the estimation part now. So let's see what is next. So figure it out says, we shall do some simple estimates. It's a fun exercise and you may find it amusing to know the various numbers around us. Remember, we are not interested in the exact numbers. Share your method of estimation with the class. So the first thing is, steps you would take to walk from place you're sitting to the classroom door. So this is something, kids, which we have to do in class. What we have to do here is, we have to see, we have to estimate the amount of steps which you take from the place you are sitting to the classroom door. So how you can do this? You can see on the basis on the number of tiles that, okay, if I am walking in one tile, maybe I am taking 3 steps to move in one tile. Until I reach the door, there might be some 4 tiles. So I am taking 3 multiplied by 4, 12 steps. Okay, this is just an example. You have to see it in your classroom, that if there are tiles or there is any other criteria you can use to measure. Okay, I am just taking the example of a tile, that there is some tile on the floor. Okay, and to cover one tile you take 3 steps, and there are 4 tiles till you reach the door. So in all you will take 12 steps. Then across the school ground from start to end. Now you have to measure that across the school ground how many steps you will take. So for that, kids, you can see that how many steps you will take to complete the round of your one class. So if you can see that how many steps approximately you are taking to move around your one class, and you can see that how many such classes can be there in a ground. So let's say I have this one room and I am taking around 40 steps to take a complete round of my class, and we have a ground which we have to measure from start to end, and we can see that my ground can accommodate such 5 classes. Okay, it can accommodate some 5 or let's say 6 classes. So what we will do, around one class I take 40 steps, around 6 classes I will take 6 multiplied by 40, which will be nearly 240 steps, which are approximate, and these are the estimated ones considering the ground contain 6 such classes. It might be less, it might be more. Similarly, these steps might be more or less depending upon the size of the class. Okay. Similarly, you can also find this from your classroom door to the school gate. Okay. And from school to your home, this is a big distance. So you have to see that, okay, when we have to measure this, since we have to determine the number of steps, then accordingly you have to see that, okay, this is the, maybe your school is around 3 kilometers from your home, and then you can say that you take to move or to walk 1 kilometer, you take around 800 steps. Okay, so for 3 kilometer it will be 3 multiplied by 800 steps. This might be more or less for different people, and then you can take this approximate idea. This is the estimation we are doing. Then we have number of times you blink your eyes, or the number of breaths you take in a minute, in hour, and in a day. So kids, this is different for different people. Approximately, if we just calculate that an average person it blinks 5 times, let's say 5 times in a minute, then you can calculate it in hours, that if in 1 minute I am blinking 5 times, then in 60 minutes it will be 60 multiply by 5, so it will give me 300 times. Okay, again this might be different for different people, and then we have the data in hour. We can use the same data to find in, we know that in 1 hour I am taking 300, I'm blinking 300 times, or I'm taking 300 breaths. That means in a day it will be 24 multiplied by 300 breaths. But in the blink of eyes, you also have to consider that while sleeping we don't blink our eyes, so we have to subtract the amount of time we are sleeping in case of blinking. Okay, but in the case of breaths you can take 24 only. Okay, so this is the general estimation which we have to do. Next is name some objects around that are a few thousand in number or a more than 10,000 in number. So kids, this question I leave to you. You have to see that what kind of objects you can put here. You can see here. Okay, so now next we have estimate the answer. Try to guess within 30 seconds. check your guess with your friends. So the first one is number of words in your math textbook. It is more than 5,000 or if it is less than 5,000. Okay, so kids, generally the maths textbook, it has more of more of numbers, more of shapes, geometry portions, equations and all. So the words are comparatively less when we compare it to other subjects. So we can say that it has less than 5,000 because an average language book has around 5 to 6,000. But in maths we have numbers and all, so the words will be less. Next is number of students in your school who travel to school by bus. This is the idea which you can do this question by yourself, but it can be more than 2,000 or less than 2,000. Generally it is more than 200 if the school is big. If the school is small, it might be less than 200. Next is Roshan wants to buy milk, okay, and 3 type of fruit to make fruit custard for 5 people. So there is a boy named Roshan and he want to buy milk and 3 type of fruits to make a fruit custard for 5 people. He estimate the cost to be rupees 100. Do you agree with him? Why or why not? So kids, what do you think? That is it possible in 100 rupees to get 4 items, milk as well as 3 different type of fruits, which is sufficient for 5 people? So I don't agree with this. It will be more than 200. Okay, because he is purchasing 4 items and that too for 5 people. So it needs more money. Next is estimate the distance between Gandhinagar, which is in Gujarat, to Kohima, which is in Nagaland. Look at the map of India to locate these cities. So kids, again, this is in West India, this is in East India, approximately 3,000 kilometer distance. Okay, and we can also take the help of map to locate. Next is Sheetal is in grade 6 and says she has spent around 13,000 hours in school till date. Do you agree with her? Why or why not? So let's try to do this. Okay, I'm just writing here. Answer number 5. See, first of all, Sheetal is in grade 6. So that means from 1st to 6th she has studied in this school, that is 6 years, plus nursery to LKG and UKG, 3 more years. So approximately she has studied around 9 years in school. Okay. Now on an average kids, per year the school is open for around 200 days because rest of the days are holidays and rest of the days are holidays and Saturdays and Sundays included. So on an average, one academic year contains 200 days. So that means we have around 1800 days. Okay, this is around 1800 days. Now per day, for how many hours the school is open? So we will take from 8 to 2. Okay, that is 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. the school is open, which makes it around 6 hours. 6 hours. So 6 hours, 1800 days. She is, oh sorry, 1800 days. Yeah, 200 days is here, and then 1800 days she has gone to school, and then we have to multiply this with 6 hours. This will give us 10,800 hours. So till now, starting nursery to class 6, she has gone around 10,800 hours to school, which is less than 13,000 hours. So this is not true. She has gone less than 13,000 hours to school. Okay, I hope this is clear what we have done. First of all, we have seen that for how many years she has gone, and then we have calculated that in one academic year, I'm writing here, one academic year. Okay, so one academic year will be 200 days. So one academic year is 200 days. So, and when we multiply with this, we will get around 1800 days she has gone to school till now. And average day of a school is 6 hours. So till now she has gone 1800 days and per day 6 hours. So that is 10,800 hours she has gone to school, which is less than 13,000. Okay. Next is, earlier people used to walk long distances as they had no other means of transport. Suppose you walk at your normal pace, approximately how long will it take you to go from your current location to one of your favorite places nearby? So kid, this part I leave to you. Then your current location to any neighboring state or state's capital or city. Now this will be somewhere around, you can say, 300 kilometers. If 300 kilometer is the nearest neighboring capital state city. Okay. And then at your pace, you have to define at what is your speed of walking. On the basis of that, this can be calculated further. So this is where you have to add your data, that what is your normal pace of walking. Next, we have the southernmost part in India to the northernmost point in India, which is again around 3000 kilometers. So we know the distance now. Depending upon your normal pace, this can be calculated. Okay. So kids, we have done this exercise of estimation, and also we have covered the Collatz conjecture today. So I will end this class here, and in the next class we will do the next topic of this chapter. So I will see you all in the next class now.